First up, just to address the title of this seminar, which is there such a thing as a green traveller? Just firstly, I think it's about being a greener traveller, but it's not quite a catchy phrase, is it? But certainly, there's no holiday is 100% green. So what we've been looking at in clean breaks is places and ways to have experiences that have less of an impact on the environment and also give something back to the destination in terms of supporting local communities, supporting biodiversity conservation. What I want to do just in the few minutes while I'm speaking is just to draw out some of the examples that we've included in the book to illustrate some of the points that Martin has raised. I just want to talk through some of these different clean breaks that we've included. So first up is green accommodation. And the three main things that me and my co-author Jeremy Smith have been looking for when we've gone around looking at accommodation energy, waste and water. How the hotel reduces its draw on energy, how it reduces the amount of waste it sends to landfill, and how much water it uses. And also creative ways that it uses and reuses utilities, particularly water for irrigating gardens, reusing rainwater, for example. But there are also other things that hotels can do that might not immediately jump out at the traveller. For instance, swimming pools in Germany and Austria over the last 20 years. There have been lots of technologies that have developed natural swimming pools, and the technologies now for installing these in small hotels are much more affordable these days. And one of my favourite places with the natural pool is in the south of France. It's called Orion B&B. And it's a tree house, a series of 4 tree houses just inland from Nice on the French Riviera, where you can where they have as well as staying in the tree houses, you can actually then go back on terra firma and jump in the swimming pool. And it looks like a classic swimming pool, but instead of it being made from concrete, it's felt lined and has a separate area with plants and other filtering mechanisms that clean the water naturally. And it makes such a difference when you're swimming in these kinds of swimming pools than rather than just the chlorinated normal swimming pools that we're all used to. But of course, thinking about these things can often make the trip better. If you're staying at a local accommodation and they provide local seasonal organic food, perhaps they grow the food themselves. They're likely to be more interested in making sure that you enjoy the things that they spent hours toiling away at. And one of the great examples of this is in terms of hiring local guides. If many guides can tell you about the wildlife and the natural landscape of the place you're visiting, but if you're going with a local guide whose ancestors have lived there for hundreds of years, sometimes over 1,000 years, they often tie in what you can see around you with the way that they live. And I went to visit the Harani tribe in the middle of the Ecuadorian Amazon, and it takes a couple of days to get there, and you have to trek through the forest and canoe for best part of a day to get to their village. And when you meet them, instead of their being there with their pina colada and a little tribal dance and a white towel, they're just lying in their hammocks, and it's very much an authentic experience. And you then spend a week with them, and they take you through the forest and explaining how they use the plants for medicine and how the wildlife is totally integrated into their life. And also significantly, how the amount of money that you spend goes directly towards them buying medicine and helping provide education for their family. And similarly, in other mainstream holidays, you can find examples of how to have a clean break. For instance, city breaks might not normally jump out at you as an eco-friendly holiday, but transport hubs often train stations go right into the heart of the city, and from there you can stay in green accommodation that sources its produce locally, and you can have a perfectly green experience. And also, in more far-flung places like safaris, there are many now more progressive lodges that instead of just employing local people to sweep the floor and run the bars, they actually collaborate with them to jointly run the safari operation. And one of the great examples of this is Il Negrezi in Kenya, which has done great things with the local Maasai, and it's a collaborative approach that has really worked. The third thing that we focused on in clean breaks is the transport issue, and one of the big bugbears I have is about joined up transport, and it's all very well choosing a train as an environmentally friendly option, but But if you're left in a soulless train station in the middle of nowhere, waiting for an onward connection that never comes, it's not much fun. And it makes such a difference. For instance, if you get the sleeper to Penzance, you arrive there at 8 in the morning, you wipe the sleep from your eyes, buy a pasty, and within an hour you're on the ferry across to the Scillies. And it makes such a difference to the way the holiday gets off. But of course, these kind of holidays do take planning and preparation, and but as long as you put in the work before you go, then you can really find the best joined-up examples that make such a difference. Of course, the rise in all things green has led to inevitably led to travel companies jumping on the green bandwagon. If you key in ecotourism now into a search engine, you'll come back with hundreds, if not thousands, of results. So what we wanted to focus on in Clean Breaks is those fantastic experiences that we've had that are also genuinely green, both environmentally and ethically. And of course, there are feedback forums that can help provide information from travellers' feedback, but one of the important things is having authors go and visit places and actually be able to provide feedback based on evaluating different kinds of places. We've done the hard work. But there are 500 places that we feature in the book, but we realise there are many more out there. So if you do have any suggestions, we'd be delighted to hear from you. Particularly, places that are not featured in the book, but also we'd like to hear if you have stayed in any of the places in the book that you feel shouldn't be in. We welcome to hear about those as well. So please do email us. You can email me, richard@greentraveller.co.uk.
Well, a couple of the questions that came through. One was, are Greece and Spain covered in the book? The more sort of traditional, for British travellers anyway, traditional short-haul destination.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've covered particularly many places in Spain, but also we featured an island, Zakynthos, where we look at a fantastic initiative there that helps conserve the turtles. But in Spain as well, we featured a trip that went the train hotel that goes from Paris to Madrid. And it's one of the best examples, I think, of a low-impact clean break, because you get on there and it's not the Orient Express, but it's a fantastically civilised trip you can do. And you board at 8 o'clock in Paris, and the guard comes and asks you what time you'd like dinner, and you go through to a beautiful carriage where they have a 3-course meal, a bottle of wine, and you get back to your individual couchette, and there's a hot shower, and the guy's drawn the curtains and put a chocolate on your pillow, and you sleep the night, and then wake up and there's a hot shower in the morning, and then you have breakfast. You arrive into Madrid at 9 in the morning, and it's such a great way to get to Madrid, without having the hassle of flying.